The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Y'all ready to get rolling? Quiet on the set. Hey, welcome back. Another hot episode of the Golden Boot. It's your boy Pooh Back. I got my man Ant Petty Murphy in the building. What's good with you, my boy?
I remember to unmute my mic this time.
There we go. We all took up a good start. Great show tonight. Oh man. Coming to y'all earlier than we normally do. We gotta get the game in before them Cougars take on the Florida Gators, man. Also, we had to do a show to talk about this. I do want to give a shout out, man. If I know correctly, if I am correct, somebody made a massive comeback and won the women's bracket. Did I get that correct? Did a young Ant Marshall make the comeback of our comeback?
I did.
Yeah, congratulations, man.
Unexpectedly, I was like fifth, sixth, something like that. And then when the Final Four happened, I got the entire Final Four right, and then I just like jumped first.
Yeah.
I'm upset though, in a sense, because I wanted like the perfect Final Four in a sense, but UCONN spoiled that for me. So.
Yeah. I talked bad about Danny. I say talk bad. I was just joking with him. Now I was talking about how she was in sixth place. I ended up in sixth place. Yeah. But
the one, and I know we're gonna talk about it, but I thought I was gonna make a great comeback in the men's bracket.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get to it, man. We ain't gotta do that. So hey, let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's jump straight to it, man. LSU baseball, man. Great start for the weekend. Started a Thursday series for the second week in a row, taking on Oklahoma in Norman, Oklahoma. And what a game from your ace, Kay Anderson. Went out there, complete game, 132 pitches, 14 strikeouts. If I'm not mistaken, 5 hits on the game. Shut it down, man. Shut it down and got the big win for LSU on Thursday night.
Yeah, and I think it was the first complete game shutout since 2018 for LSU. First complete game since Paul Skeens versus Tulane in the regional.
Okay, I was gonna say in the regional. Okay.
But you don't see it much these complete games, much less the complete game shutout. That's why he was named the SEC Pitcher of the Week.
He was also, if I'm not mistaken, it's not D1 Baseball. There's another one.
Baseball America.
Baseball America Player of the Week too.
Yeah, I mean, no surprise there when you have performance like that. But the impressive thing to me is this powerful hitting lineup, dynamic hitting lineup. 2 runs, still found a way to win the game. Obviously, because of what K was able to do on the mound. But you turn around in Game 3 of the series and have to win another, close, low-scoring game 3-2, and you found a way to win that one as well. So I think that's the thing that kind of gives you the most confidence, or the bright spot of the weekend, if you will, is the fact that they didn't necessarily get the run production that they're capable of, like in Game 2 where they scored 10 runs. But in those other 2 games, they still found a way to win. You know what I mean? Even though they didn't have to score a lot of runs.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned those other 2 games. In the entire weekend, LSU used 5 total pitchers and had 0 earned runs.
Yeah, with 35 strikeouts or something like that.
It's got to be more than that, man. It's got to be.
I think it was 35 strikeouts, if I ain't mistaken.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about 35 strikeouts in 3 games. That's a lot, bro.
Yeah. Ensign has been phenomenal down the stretch.
Cowan has really been, bro.
That's as well, and Shores. But the reason why I'm pointing to Ensign, strictly because he showed up and he was kind of rocky. He looked like he was going to be the weak link on this pitching staff for your starting rotation, and he's shown up and he's been solid for the last 2 weekends, maybe even 3. We'll go back to the Texas game. He did do bad in that game. You had a chance to win that one, but you gave that one up. But man, like I said, he's been rock solid. Shout out to this pitching staff, who's we know we're short one guy in Guidry, who brings a lot of energy, especially to that bullpen. Is known to come in and be kind of your shutdown closer. He's been out with injury, but you've been able to see the rest of this pitching staff come together, and your pitching staff, if I'm not mistaken, is top 10 in the country in strikeouts per 9 innings. So phenomenal job by LSU. Oklahoma, this Oklahoma team is ranked number 10. Also, let's not forget, this Oklahoma team had not lost back-to-back games all season. Shoot, they had only lost 1 game at home all season. You just won 3 in their backyard. So that is massive for this team.
And another thing, if I'm not mistaken, that Oklahoma team is it wasn't a shutout, but it was the last complete game. Well, the Kings game. The Oklahoma team was one of the best teams in the nation in terms of stolen bases. Mm-hmm. And they stole exactly 0 bases against LSU, which says a lot about both the pitching rotation that they use, the guys that they use, and who's behind the plate. You know what I'm saying? And limiting what Oklahoma was able to do on the base pass. If you don't get a lot of guys on base, you can't steal a lot of bases. So, that was the recipe for LSU this weekend, and they did it very damn well.
Yeah. Major shout out to them. Looking forward to it. I think I forgot who they have coming up next. Hold on, I'm gonna have to pull it up because I looked at it last night now because I was going to be sure, and I was like, oh, that should be a good one.
On Tuesday,
they got Nichols on Tuesday, and then it is Auburn. They go to Auburn. That's what it was. Number 9 Auburn. So hey, this does not get any easier for you. But in this league, honestly, it's not going to be easier. But man, since they had a 17-game winning streak or 18-game winning streak going to Texas, they lost 2. They are currently on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 game winning streak as of right now. So this LSU team is like I said, been phenomenal.
Yeah, man, you dropped 2 to Texas, which unfortunate, but you would have liked to done a little better. But every other SEC series you swept.
Yeah,
So I mean, it ain't too shabby uh to be sitting in conference play with only 2 losses. If you LSU, so I
yeah.
think they're in a good spot. They just got to keep doing what they're doing.
This is
Find
the
a way.
best start LSU has had in probably almost a decade. Speaking of that, sticking with baseball real quick. Tennessee dropped the series to Texas A&M, a Texas A&M team who's been struggling.
That's a big win for Texas A&M, man. They
Huge.
obviously they haven't lived up to expectations. Had some major injuries, new coaching staff, but to go pull off a series win like that against Tennessee team number 1 in the country who been smacking everybody around, like that's almost like one of them. Hold on, y'all can't bury us yet type win statements that they made. So I'd be interested to see how they go down the stretch because right now I think they're on the outside looking in as far as postseason right now. But if they're able to string together some series wins, get a sweep here and there, they might be one of those last few teams get in the tournament, but a team you don't want to see in your regional whenever it comes. Because they got talent over there, dog. You know what I'm saying? They loaded. They was preseason top 3, I think, for a reason. So
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. And there's a team that is a perennial giant for the SEC when it comes to postseason play. That is currently 1-11 in conference play. Almost dead last, except you got Missouri at 0-12. You want to take a guess who that team?
Florida.
Florida currently right now is 1-11 in conference play. They're 20-14 overall. Yeah, it's been ugly.
Yeah, as of right now, I don't think Florida gets in because I mean they ain't in the SEC tournament right now, so they can't, you know what I mean, go down there.
Are they? I thought the SEC tournament has changed where everybody I think it's. I don't know. I have to double check but if I'm not mistaken, everybody plays. But you still have you don't have a double bye or something like that. But everybody gets in, but it's just not.
Oh, I thought it was only the top.
I have to double check.
But if you don't go to the SEC tournament and make a run, if you Florida, like you ain't really got much on your resume to say you deserve to get in the field. You know, at this point, you ain't.
That's very true.
You ain't got any big wins. I mean, you didn't. I know the SEC is a gauntlet, but you got a losing record in the SEC. So I mean, like, what do you really have to hang your hat on saying you deserve to get in?
Yeah, so it is. It's 16. All 16 teams are in the tournament. You've got the top 8 seeds. Well, they're saying 6 through 8 get a first round bye, get a first round bye, and 1 through 4 get a double bye. So yeah, but
I guess Florida could go make a run in the SEC tournament, make it to the championship series or something, and sneak their way in.
They probably still have to win it all. If they continue on this path, they will have to win it all.
Yeah, well, if they continue on this path, I agree. But I'm assuming that they, at least finish with 5-6 SEC teams.
If you get 5 or 6,
you're right.
If 5 or 6, you're gonna have to win it all. But this is the one thing that did change about the SEC tournament. No more of the double eliminations. All single elimination.
That might hurt.
Yeah.
Florida. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
all right. Because we are obligated by contract from Danny Girl, let's talk some softball real quick. Nah, I'm just kidding, man. We're not obligated. I enjoy talking about or watching softball. I truly enjoy watching. You know what's funny? I will say this. Dylan will actually come ask me how he'll say who win in the game. And I'll say who? He say the girls. He asked about softball before he even asked about baseball, bro. So, but he enjoys baseball. Is becoming one of his favorite sports. But this past weekend, LSU took on Alabama. They took the first two games. The first game convincingly, a mercy rule, 8-0. They won the second game in a nail biter, 2-1. And then on Sunday, they lost a close one, 5-8. Taking on, like I said, Alabama. They tried to get the sweep. This would have been the first. LSU has not swept Alabama since 2013. As a matter of fact, that was if I'm not mistaken, that was the last time Alabama has been swept in the SEC in a series.
I thought they had it. I thought they had the sweep going into the game, but I think they just kind of ran out of pitching a little bit. I think arms got a little tired, but I mean, nothing to hang your head on either way. Take it to Alabama, doing what you need to do to stay, where you are in the SEC and in the national landscape. Maybe get one of them top 8 seeds. So you might be increasing your chances of getting to Omaha the more you play, at home in postseason play. So I think I said Omaha, Oklahoma, but I don't know. I like where this team at, even though they dropped a few games here and there, but I think overall they playing their best ball whenever they need to be. You froze? Dang, he froze. Yeah, I think the softball team gonna be just fine. I don't know who they have up next, but as long as they keep winning the series every weekend, they'll be good. Up next for the softball team is Louisiana Tech on Wednesday, and then they got at A&M on the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday series. So, followed up by Texas. So two big series for the softball team coming up. I think we got him back now. Yeah, you froze on out.
Yeah, listen, I hate hotel Wi-Fi. I'll just say it like that.
I was just talking about the softball team. How I think they best ball at the right time. If they keep taking 2 or 3 or sweeping the series, I think they'll be where they need to be in terms of being a top 8 seed for postseason play. The more they play in Baton Rouge, the better chance of making it to Oklahoma.
Yeah. Currently, LSU sits in 4th in the conference standings behind Texas, Oklahoma, Texas A&M. Actually, they are a half game behind Texas A&M. Looks like Texas A&M only paid.
They got them this weekend at A&M.
Yeah. It looked like Texas A&M got a Texas A&M and Auburn had a game not finished or something. Or something, something like that, or whatever. But yeah, so they're half game behind. Like you said, they play them this weekend coming up. So
and then they got Texas right after that, the following week. So chance to move on up in the rankings.
Yeah, it is, man. This is huge. I'll say this. I said it last year, and I'll say it again. The SEC right now, last year was the best conference in all of college softball, and you added the champion and the runner-up to your league. Uh, and I don't say that being a SEC homer. When you look at it, you literally had um, all 13 of your teams, because Vanderbilt does not field a softball team. So you had all 13 of your teams make the NCAA tournament. Then you added two more teams, and it's again the champion and the runner-up. So you had literally in your league 15 of 15 teams make the make the NCAA tournament. I don't care how you look at it. There's no other conference that did that or is doing anything remarkably close. The SEC is the best conference in in college softball. If LSU can survive, as a matter of fact, if any team in the SEC survives this season in conference, they have a very strong chance of being in not Omaha. What they play?
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing this team as they progress throughout the season. They've got, like you said, they got actually La Tech today. No, I'm sorry, not today.
Wednesday.
They got La Tech on Wednesday. Friday they welcome in Texas A&M.
I thought they went.
Oh, they go to Texas A&M. You're absolutely right. Oh, that's right, because they're going to Texas A&M. They're going to stay in Texas for the week, because then they go to Texas.
Yep.
So,
then you come home, play McNeese, and then you got Florida.
Yep.
Don't get any easier, man.
But
it's a chance to go, like you said. If you look at, I'm looking at the USA Today or ESPN softball poll. You got Texas number 1, Florida number 2, Oklahoma number 3, Texas A&M number 4. You got 3 of the top 4 coming up in the next 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, LSU number 7. You know, they was number 3, so you get a chance to bring yourself back up to where you were before. You know that Georgia series.
Yeah, that was it Ole Miss, I think, that they lost to South Carolina. Losing 2 of the 3.
Yeah, South Carolina. I said Georgia.
Yeah, losing 2 of the 3 to South Carolina really, you know what I'm saying, it hurts you, but I mean, you're still in a good spot. Like you said, some of the best balls, some of the best teams you have to play, and you can prove yourself for coming up in the next few weeks. Moving right along, man. Sticking in women's sports, though. I don't know if you got a chance to watch any of this or whatever. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I was keeping up with it. I didn't get a chance to watch all of it live, shall I say. UConn finishes off a dream season with a huge, and I mean huge, if I'm not mistaken, 23-point win over South Carolina. The South Carolina.
You know, we saw this before, but I thought, no way this happened twice in one season to South Carolina. You know, by the same team.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh no, I just think it's a bad matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have Sarah Strong doing what she's doing in the down low, 20-point double, you know, like her run through the tournament has been, for a freshman, has been insane and not talked about enough. But you got Sarah Strong down low. That's a handful in and of itself. But then you add in the fact that you got Paige, who's a handful in and of herself. But like you mentioned, you got Fudd, you got KK Arnold coming in doing her thing. You know, you got what's the girl name? I can't think. Alfie. You got Alfie. You got, you know what I'm saying? You got all these, even though she didn't do much yesterday, but they just got a deep team. A team, I think, that can kind of go blow for blow with South Carolina. And then you look in the fact that they're a veteran team, like except for Sarah Strong, everybody you counting on has been there for a while. Paige is a senior, AZ could leave, KK Arnold could, you know what I'm saying? You all looking at people who third, fourth year of college. So the moment ain't too big for him. Sarah Strong just a unicorn, bro. She generational good, but I just think it's a bad matchup for South Carolina. And when you South Carolina, you look at South Carolina, they've kind of struggled throughout the tournament. Maryland, Duke, you know, they've had games where they've eked out wins. And if Texas could score, it wouldn't have been, you know, they kind of play like Texas. They have trouble scoring the ball sometimes. And if their defense isn't firing on all cylinders, then they're not going to be able to compete with a team like UConn who does it on both ends of the court. South Carolina had trouble pressuring Page and KK and getting in Fudd and the backcourt pressure wasn't there. UConn's ball movement makes you defend for 25 seconds. And so South Carolina wasn't able to get out and run at the pace they wanted to. And when South Carolina shot like 20-some% from three, I mean, UConn didn't shoot great from three neither, but UConn was killing down low. They didn't have to shoot great from three. And so I just think masterclass by Gino, man. He put together a hell of a roster and they went on a hell of a run during the tournament. Becca's finally got her one before she left. And I'm more curious to see if Sarah Strong can get her another one before she leaves.
Definitely a fairy tale ending for Paige Beckers. It's interesting that Paige Beckers isn't getting the same kind of hype that we saw for Caitlin Clark. And she, I'll be honest with you, she had a way better, in my opinion, it was a way better showing than Clark. It may not be as flashy with the numbers and the shooting out the gym and everything, but Paige is so good all around, man. We ain't got to dive into it.
She's more complete, but I think the difference is you could say yesterday that Sarah Strong or AZ led UConn. There was never a moment really since she stepped foot at Iowa where anybody other than Caitlin Clark led Iowa. If that
That's
makes
fair. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'm just talking about the.
No, I'm with you. But see, the thing about it is, I think like it's almost like Paige was hot 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like her done came and went in a sense. Because she was so good as a freshman. You know, they lost that championship. But she went on that run, and her freshman year was so good, and she won, the ESPY award, all that kind of stuff.
Did she lose to South Carolina?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know what I'm saying? And then you got then after that, you know what I'm saying, came Caitlin Clark, Angel Reed. You know what I'm saying? It's like and Paige was hurt, some of that time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I feel she deserves more love, but I think it's because she kind of ain't a new She ain't a new thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like she old news at this point.
Yeah.
Ready to see her at the next level though.
Oh yeah. Now I want to move to the men's side. We didn't get a chance to talk about the Final Four. I think it was a great. I know how you felt about it initially. It's all one seeds. This ain't as fun. Blah blah blah.
Nah, I mean, I feel like I don't want it every year by any means.
Yeah.
But I'm cool with it happening especially a season like this year where there's not a true that's the best team in the country. You know what I'm saying? Like so when it's like a true anybody can win it, give me the best four teams and let's see who really the best. But if
Yeah.
it's a year where it's low, like everybody know that that's the team to beat type thing, then if they're gonna win it anyway, at least put a little underdog in there to make it fun. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, I feel you.
a season like this
Uh,
is cool.
yeah. The we saw Florida take on Auburn. Great game. Auburn had several chances. This looked like the SEC tournament when Auburn got put out because it was the same thing where they were up and then they were down and they were climbing back and had a chance. It's just
I mean, they got outscored in the second half by like 15 points, something like that. Like it seemed like Auburn late second half kind of tightens up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And they don't play with the same like free looseness that they played with at the beginning of the game. So I I don't know if that's Bruce Pearl or if that's the players on the team. If Pepper young, so that could be a part of it. You know, you got a freshman leading your team in terms of point guard. So if he kind of tighten up and kind of slow up, and then does that possibly make your team do the same thing? I could see that, but I don't know. It just seemed to be a trend this year for Auburn. Like you mentioned, SEC championship.
it could be because they old as hell. You know that team they starting
Oh,
they starting five. They
oh,
starting five. If I'm not mistaken, is either older or just around the same age as the Oklahoma City
yeah.
Thunder starting
Person
five.
that's young is the point guard. Everybody at like 20. They got a dude that's 25, 22, 23. They old, bro.
Yeah, the youngest yeah, he's 23, if I'm not mistaken, the starting point guard, or it might be Broom that's the youngest. Either way, they're old. I say old. They're 20. I'm coming from somebody who, saying was driving by the time they were born.
Yeah.
They but they
Broom,
are a
Broom
older
like 22, I think.
22. Okay, yeah. I think he's the youngest. Yeah.
Like BYU out here.
That's funny. Great game though. Florida. Walter Clayton Jr. is a problem.
Yeah,
That
but
dude he nice. He nice. You know what? This is what I want to talk about.
boy cold.
Florida is in the national championship.
Mm-hmm.
In this their year, coach, second year,
No, third.
third year. Okay.
He got the job the same time Matt McMahon got the job.
Interesting.
Little bit different circumstances, but
I know, I get that, but it's
but to be fair, he's doing it with under recruited and transfer portal guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, so. And you know what? Another thing. What is it? April. So October was 6 months ago, 7 months ago. October. I didn't know if this dude was gonna have a job
because of the scandal or whatever.
Yes. And 6, 7 months later, this man playing for a national championship, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That is wild, bro.
Yes, he is playing for the Natty. Oh man. The other game, the game that we all were. I was ready for this.
Hell of a game.
You said this was national championship. Duke, Houston. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I think they're the two best teams. Like I know Florida is good, and they got some ballers, good size on both ends. But I think if you're talking most complete teams, I think these are two.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Because of I've one. I when Mac McMahon before he got the job when LSU was looking, Ralph Sampson was a coach that I wanted.
Who?
Ralph Sampson.
That man said Ralph Sampson. Kelvin.
What's the Kelvin Sampson? My bad. Who's Ralph Sampson?
Ralph Sampson played. He was a 7-foot center that played for the Houston Rockets.
That's where I got the Houston from. All right, Sampson, Coach Sampson. That's who I wanted at LSU. I've been a huge fan of his going back to I want to say when he was at Oklahoma.
I remember.
Yeah, so that's when I really started. When he was what?
He was at Indiana.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, man, he was at Indiana. The thing about Kelvin Sampson, and I ain't knocking him for it, bro. He got in trouble everywhere he went.
That's true.
Like illegal phone calls or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
When he was at Indiana, like illegally contacting recruits when he was at Oklahoma or something like that, or vice versa, something like that. Like, but
he was ahead of the curve.
It ain't like he was, you know. I mean, it's just like your boy Bruce Pearl. You know what I'm saying? He got in trouble for hosting a barbecue. You know what I'm saying? Like that's. I think he a hell of a coach. He's done everything but win the national championship.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's able to do it at a school like Houston with so much rich basketball tradition and history, that's typical cap. But I think the comeback they had in that game versus Duke will be talked about. If they win the national championship, the comeback they had, 30 seconds, 9 points or some shit like that, like that's gonna be talked about for a while. Maybe not always on Houston's end of that. It might be always referred to as like Cooper Flag and the collapse or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But when the flag folded or something like that, you know what I'm saying? I should be a newspaper headline writer. But
I like that.
But with something like that, it's gonna always be talked about because you don't see that, bro. Especially not in a game of that magnitude. But two 3-1-8 guys played a huge part in that comeback. Malik Wilson's defense and JoJo's Tugger's putback dunk, both 3-1 babies. And I got a stat for you. The University of Houston has made it to the Final Four. 1, 2, 5, 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
Only one time have they not had a player from the 3-1-8 on the team. In 1967 and 1968, Big E, Elvin Hayes, was on the team. I think it was another player on the team. Chuck knows. I think it was another player on the team from 3-1-8 too. But in 1982, 83, and 84, Five Slammer Jammer, Benny Anders was on the team. That made an ESPN 30 for 30 about him. And then obviously this year, Malik and JoJo both from the 3-1-8. Even though JoJo moved for high school, but he still playing. Yeah, man. Houston basketball is like LSU football, I guess. Like LSU football needs a guy from 251. And I guess Houston basketball needs somebody from 3-1-8. I'm just saying.
Gotta be. This game tonight is if Houston pulls this off, this will be huge, bro. This will be. I think it will mean so much more to Houston than it does to Florida.
Yeah, I mean, Florida's won 2 in my lifetime. Houston has never won.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, like, look, I mean, seven times or 6 times and never won. Not to mention the coach like Kevin Sampson, who's been to the Final Four, who's done, like I said, everything but win a national championship. Like this to me feels like if Brian Kelly was to make it to the national championship type. You know what I'm saying? Like you've
Yeah.
done everything in your career but win one. You know what I'm saying? Like you got here, now you gotta go and win it.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to play stellar defense. Okay?
That's the one thing I'm not worried about. They do have excellent defense.
That boy does something serious.
But
Yeah,
I'm looking for
the oldest lead, my bad. That's the
Yeah.
other guy from 3-1
Okay.
1962, 67 to 68 Houston team. My bad. Go ahead.
No problem. I forgot what's the matchup. LJ Cryer, Walter Clayton Jr. It's not. It may not be a direct matchup, but just that them two seeing them battle in this game is going to be phenomenal for me. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I think a huge matchup is underrated matchup, but might determine who wins this game. It's Tugler versus Condon. Not necessarily which one scores the most points, but which one has the biggest impact on the game in terms of rebounding and rim protection. JoJo, Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. You know, I think he was voted one of the Defensive Player of the Years from one of the. You know, like he's elite, but I mean, you talking about Condon, that's probably one of the best big men that JoJo would have seen this year. In terms of what he's able to do. They both young, so I think they both gonna make their fair share of mistakes. But I think whichever one can have the bigger impact on the game, I think is gonna be the difference maker.
Yeah.
So obviously I think like your matchup, Cryer versus Castle is gonna be more fun to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like which one?
Not Castle. Clayton Jr.
Clayton, yeah, I'm Castle. What the hell I got that from?
That's
But
the one that the dude from a couple years, the big dude
yeah,
from a couple years.
no, that's a dude who was for UConn last year.
Okay.
Castle. But Clayton, yeah, if Clayton versus Cryer is gonna really be the matchup to watch in terms of fun and excitement. But for like basketball head coaches and all that, they're gonna be watching them two big men go at it.
And mask this because we kind of this question went a little bit different, but I want to ask.
We can go and give it the real. I don't care. Like the topic I proposed was, and the key word was if Cooper Flagg wins the Natty, did he have the best freshman year of all time?
Yeah. It's funny because my response back, because this was, and for y'all that don't know, this was a conversation that was had on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So this was before Saturday's game. It might have been even on Thursday, but
it was on Thursday or Friday. Yeah.
Yeah. So my reply was, well, we ain't never got to worry about asking that question because he ain't gonna win. I said he was gonna take it all. Then I said, but then my next statement, because I realized I was kind of jumping too far out there on that limb. my next statement was, that'll be a real fun game. So, but for that was so the question. Because original question was, would Cooper Flagg have been the best rookie, or have the best rookie season if he had won the Natty?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to spin this. Who is the best rookie modern time? Because I don't want to say ever, because I know that. Yeah. We can say season. I don't know if you want to say season, prospect, or whatever, but
Well, that's two different things.
yeah. It's not prospect. You know what I mean.
Yeah. So I think there's only there's a handful that come to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like guys who had great freshman season, like Michael Beasley, Greg Oden, Derrick Rose, Kevin Durant, Zion. You know what I'm saying? Like all those guys had great seasons. But in my opinion, when we talk, whenever you say best freshman season, two guys come to the top of the list: Carmelo Anthony and
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
As big of a Melo fan as I am, I still got Melo jerseys in my room right now, hanging up in the closet.
Mm-hmm.
And as great as that run was that he had in the Final Four, especially in the tournament, especially the Final Four in the championship game. I don't know if he was the best player in the country that season.
Mm.
For instance, the Wooden Award winner for that season was T.J. Ford at Texas. Anthony Davis won the Wooden Award as a freshman, and he won a national championship as a freshman. Now his numbers wasn't as impressive
He was on the team
as
though.
Carmelo's, you know what I'm saying? But he wasn't asked to do what Carmelo was asked to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's why I say it's one of them two guys. It depends on how you look at it. Like, no doubt about it, Carmelo carried Syracuse to a national championship.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it. Was he the best player on the team? I mean, in the country? We don't know. But he was definitely the one who carried them to a national championship. Did Anthony Davis carry Kentucky to a national championship? Debatable, but he was definitely the best player in the team, and he was definitely the best player in the country. See what I'm saying? So it's depends on how you want to look, but it's out of them two for me. But
Yeah.
if Cooper would have won,
So I'm glad you. So I looked it up. I looked up all their numbers, all three, and I'm gonna just stick with the guys who won right now. I'm gonna stick with Carmelo and Anthony Davis right now when I go through this. Carmelo played in 35 games. He averaged 22.2 points, had 10 rebounds, 2.2 assists. That was on 45% shooting, 33.7 from three, 70.6 from free throw line. And the one thing that stood out to me, his win share is for those of you who may not understand what this, I know not all y'all knowledgeable, but win share is an estimate of the number of wins contributed by a player due to their offense and defense. Carmelo's win share 5.8. Anthony Davis numbers, he played in 40 games. He had 14.2 points per game, 10.4 rebounds per game, 1.3 assists. He had 62.3% shooting. He was 15% from three, 70.9 from free throw line. His win share, 9.9. And he has they didn't have the play efficiency rating for Carmelo because I think that was before his time. But he's 35.1 for Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis is different, bro. He did it
Yeah.
on both. He did it on both ways. That's why I'm saying, like,
it's hard to deny that. I'm like, seriously.
Yeah, it's the Paige Bueckers thing with Anthony Davis.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because go look at his numbers in the national championship game. I'm not mistaken.
Who, Carmelo?
Anthony Davis.
Oh, Anthony Davis, I can tell you, he had no points. But he had no points, but what he did have was I think he had some blocks and rebounds that he contributed in that game.
That's what I'm saying though. Like Anthony Davis had 16 rebounds. He had 5 assists. I think he had what a box score.
I'm trying to pull it up where I'm at, but it's
But yeah, he
game logs. Here you go. Go ahead, I'm listening.
he had some rebounds and you know what I'm saying, but I think he only had like 5 points.
National championship, he was 1 for 10, made 4 free throws. He had 6 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 6 blocks. Yeah.
But if you look at Deron Lamb with 22 points, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Anthony Davis impacted the game for sure. Both sides of the court, no questions asked. But did he carry them?
Nope.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's Carmelo carried Syracuse. When they needed a bucket, they was going to Carmelo. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was. Like, I'm not taking away from what Jerry McNamara, Peter Warwick, and all them did. I said Peter Warwick, Hakeem Warwick, and all them did, but Melo carried that team. Anthony Davis was on a great team, but was the best player on that team.
Yeah, Carmelo in the championship game was 7 of 16, 3 for 5 from 3. He had 20 points. 20 points. He was 20 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. He almost had a triple double. 1 steal.
7 assists for a dude who averaged 2 on the season. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he carried them in that game, bro. And then I think he had 28 or something in the game before that against Texas.
33.
33? Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's right. He had 53 in the 2 games combined. That's right. So against player in the country and TJ Ford in Texas, he dropped 33 and then went on and beat Kansas. Like, that's I don't know. It's out of them two though. But my thing is, if Cooper would have won, he right there with them two.
Yeah, that's fair.
The only reason Derrick Rose ain't is because he didn't win Natty. You know what I'm saying? The only reason Durant ain't, he didn't win the Natty. I mean, there's only been Zion. If he would have won the Natty, like there's only been 4 freshmen to win the Wooden Award.
Mm-hmm.
You got Cooper Flag, you got Anthony Davis, you got Zion, and who else? Durant. That's right, Durant. So if Durant would have won the title, he would be right up there. You know what I'm saying? Like Beasley, man, Beasley was a monster. People forget how good Beasley was at Kansas State.
Cooper Flag, just for reference, 19.2 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists. He did that on 48.1% shooting from the field, 38.5 from 3, 84% free throw shooting. His player efficiency rating is 30.4, and his win share is 8.4. So his numbers are less than Melo, but his win share is more, and his numbers are more than Anthony Davis, but his win share is less.
Because Anthony Davis' defense is that important.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, but if you look at it, Anthony Davis is pretty much all defense, very little offense. Melo was like all offense, very little defense. Cooper Flag is like a lot of both. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't very nothing, but he a lot of both. Like I think Cooper Flag is one of the most complete freshmen I've seen. Like he ain't one of the most athletic or like there's been better scores. Zion was more dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Like Anthony Edwards was a better scorer. You know what I mean? But like complete all around game, Cooper Flag is probably the most like he's supposed to still be in high school right now, but he could be in the NBA. he like legit should be a senior in high school, but he could be in the NBA right now, and like
All right.
impacting a team right now.
I'm gonna ask this. Let me finish the question before you respond. Is there Are people overreacting by saying that he's overrated? Cooper Flag is overrated because we've seen him in a few games this season. When it gets crunch time, he kind of folds a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a stretch. Cause like I don't think he really did nothing down the stretch versus Houston where you could say he folded. He just missed the shot. You know what I'm saying? Like he got
So
he got to it.
go
Like
ahead.
in that game, he got to a spot, got a good shot. He just missed. He came up.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But I don't think the moment was too big for him or nothing like that. Now you could say he could have demanded the ball more down the stretch, but I don't think that that's really a criticism type deal. You know what I mean? Like he was running with the offense the coach, that they were supposed to run. Now down when the game was on the line, they was down one. They had the ball. He took the shot. That's
Mhm.
won't. But I don't think it's really. I don't really see in this game where he kind of came up short at.
Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
other than the shot, but that shot was short. But other
yeah.
than that,
Yeah. Hold on, man. I'm my camera about to die. I gotta switch my batteries. Hold on. But that I completely agree. I think something you mentioned should also be thought about. His youth. He is still young, very young, and a lot of that I ain't gonna say it's too necessarily too big of a moment for him. But I do think that's a lot more pressure. He's probably succeeded a lot more than he's failed, and we just only amplifying the worst parts of it.
I mean, like let's take a step back and listen to what we're saying though. Like, and I'm not saying that you are trying to say this, but using the word he failed when they lost in the Final Four by 3 points to a team that's been number one in the country most of the season. We were up in the top three, four in most of like they lost to a number one seed in the Final Four by one possession, and we saying that's failing. Like like that, like if that's failing, him winning the national championship wasn't really gonna be a success. Like he had to blow everybody out by 30 and win a national championship. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
the level where we critique he's at the level where we're critiquing him like you don't win it all by 30, you ain't really doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like winning it all ain't even enough because making it to the Final Four and losing by one possession isn't seen as a successful season. You know what I'm saying? Like if his name wasn't Cooper Flag, if his name was Victorious Miller, and they came one possession short of making it to the national championship game, nobody would be saying that's a failure. You know what I'm saying? Like
fair.
that's what his expectations are, and that's really unfair for us to say that making it to the Final Four ain't good enough. Like, dog, this is a 17-year-old, 18-year-old kid, dog. Like, and he made it one possession away from making it to the national championship. Like, I think
Yeah,
that's a successful season.
I agree. I agree. Um, but I do know that narrative is out there, so I didn't want
It's
to.
gonna be out there because people got unrealistic expectations. Like you know what I'm saying? Like these the same people who were saying like he should be averaging 30 and you know what I mean? Like it's it's a little ridiculous what some of these people expect, bro. Like at the end of the day, they playing great players too. These dudes 17, 18 playing against dudes that's 23, 22 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that he's playing at the level he is consistently like he is says a lot about him on both ends of the court. Some of the blocks he had in that Houston game, like the play, do make an impact on both sides of the court. and don't come out the game at all. Like I just don't understand what it is they hate on for, bro. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, if you get too much coverage, possibly, but I mean, like Zion got too much coverage, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? Like
Completely
it,
agree.
it happens anytime there's a who casual people who don't keep up with the sport want to know about, they're gonna get too much coverage, bro. That's what happened with Caitlin Clark. That's what happened. That's what's gonna end up happening with Juju Watkins. That's what's gonna happen with you know what I'm saying. I wouldn't be surprised if next year AJ DeBonster at BYU ain't getting this type of coverage. It's gonna happen, bro. But
Yeah.
he don't control how much coverage he get. The kid personally hadn't done nothing to deserve this stuff. It's just the expectation people put on him because of the coverage he gets, which ain't none of his, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah. All right. Let me ask this question, man. And I actually stole this from our good friend Tundia over on the HBCU nightly. One and dones. Um, and when I'm talking about one and dones, I'm talking about those one and done teams where those teams are built primarily on guys who are saying, "Hey, I'm gonna do my 1 year and go to the league."
Mhm.
Um, we're those teams that were heavy with that talent like that. Um, they ain't winning championships, bro.
They never have.
You don't think so, Duke?
With Duke team.
Duke team. If I'm not thinking, when Justice Winslow, it was somebody else on that squad. What was that? I can't remember what year that was.
Jabari Parker, no?
Was that Jabari
About
Parker now that one?
2015 Duke?
That might be.
It had to be 2015. That's the last time they won. But they done had 35 McDonald's All Americans since then. They ain't got no national championship. So
I know. Kentucky.
let's see.
They.
So the Duke team you talking about, got Jaleel Okafor, who was a freshman,
Mhm.
Justice Winslow, who was a freshman, Tyus Jones, who was a freshman, Grayson Allen, who was a freshman. That's cool. But they also had Quinn Cook, who was a senior. They had Emil Jefferson, who was a junior, and they had Suleiman, who was a junior, and Mason Plumlee, who was a junior. Ain't no team that's strictly relying on freshmen winning no national championship. You know what I mean? Like you could say that Duke team, but Quinn Cook was the second leading scorer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like who took all the big shots? You know what I mean? Like so you gotta have them Kentucky teams that was loaded. Devin Booker and all them. Devin Booker was a sixth man coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? All
Mhm.
he had John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, all them teams. They wouldn't win that championship like that. I mean, even if you look at the Kentucky team that won that championship,
It's Anthony Davis. Can't think Jones. He was actually my favorite player on that team. I know he wasn't the best, but Jones. He had a Terrence Jones.
he was a sophomore. Deron
Yeah.
was a sophomore. Darius Miller was a senior. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
yeah, they had a lot of freshmen, but they also had guys who was in their second, third year college also.
Yeah.
Days
Yeah. And they had
you
lost
gotta
the year
have,
before that too.
yeah, you gotta have multiple guys. Yeah, because they Terrence Jones and them came back for that reason. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So you gotta have guys who have been in college, who've been in that moment, who aren't scared of the spotlight. You know what I mean? Who just more experienced, more veteran, more poised, stronger, more fit, like all of that, bro. Like it's a reason UConn with old guys. Uh, Virginia had old guys when they won. Villanova always in it. They got old guys. Baylor always in it. Got old guys. Houston lately always in it. Got old guys.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Alabama, Auburn that's been in it. Tennessee that's been in it recently. Got old guys. Like, yeah, Duke, whenever you get the top level talent that they get, they're gonna always be in the mix, but they haven't won it. And
Yeah.
that's the thing, like one and dones they can get you there, but they probably not gonna win it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, even look at the Cam Reddish, Zion, RJ Barrett class. Didn't win it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like them one and dones have never really won, bro.
Hmm. All right. The most popular athlete. You want to wait? Say that.
Yeah, we can.
All right. Last thing we got then, man. Would you rather? I got some good ones for you too. All right. And would you rather take a year off for play or play but not score the entire season?
Hmm. All right. I'm gonna take the year off. Cause if I'm in college, I can redshirt.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm in the NFL, I'm probably still getting paid, but I won't mess up none of my performance incentives or make it to where they like, we're gonna cut you next year because you ain't do nothing. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna just sit out for a year.
All right. I completely agree with that. Now this one. All right. This one. Okay. Would you rather see Bo Jackson stay injury free or Jim Brown play 5 more seasons? Ooh, I've been waiting on this one. I was waiting on this one.
I'm gonna say Bo Jackson injury free. Um, cause for one, I like the fact that Jim Brown retired as the only player to average 100 yards rushing per game. Um, he would have been higher on the all-time yards list and all that, but I ain't tripping on that. I'm glad he retired when he did because I didn't want to remember him as like the beat up, busted old Jim Brown who wasn't in his right mind and all that kind of stuff. Like he retired and was still himself. So I don't want to change nothing about his career. I let Bo Jackson stay healthy so we can see what he became.
I completely agree because, and mine is a little bit different. I'd rather see Bo Jackson stay injury free because I would love to have seen Bo Jackson dominate, win a Super Bowl and a World Series.
Both, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I would have loved to see that. All right, this actually just brought me up to something else. Brought up another question. I ain't originally had this one, so this off the dome. Would you rather have seen Barry Sanders break the all-time rushing record or Serena get the all-time majors wins record?
Serena?
Okay.
Honestly, I wish Jim Brown would be the all-time leading rusher. Like, personally, that's my favorite running back ever, bro.
It's Barry Sanders, mine. I can't even.
That's
Barry
fair.
Sanders.
That's
Barry Sanders.
most people our age though, bro.
Yeah.
He was killing them when we grew up. You know what I mean? Like,
So he's one of my favorite. Now he's my favorite, like just all time. But my favorite, like I guess you could say my 1B, Marshall Faulk.
so mine is LaDainian, LT.
I saw LaDainian play twice.
That's my boy.
I got to see him play in real life twice when he was at TCU, and TCU used to play in the Mobile Bowl or GMAC Bowl, whatever it was back then. Yeah, I got to see him play twice. That boy is a dog.
Monster, bro. LT.
Yeah. All right. Would you rather?
I got one for you.
Go ahead.
Would you rather see Tracy McGrady and Grant Hill healthy on the Magic, or Tracy McGrady never traded from the Raptors?
Ooh. I'm gonna say never traded from the Raptors. So it's easy. It'd be easy for me to say if case I get Grant Hill, a healthy Tracy McGrady on the Magic, but I think Toronto that would have been something real special in Toronto if he had never been traded.
If they could have won as cousins together in Toronto, that would have been crazy. But I'm gonna go healthy Grant, healthy T-Mac, because they also almost signed Tim Duncan, but Doc Rivers blew that deal by saying wives aren't allowed on the team playing. But if they would have been killing it with a healthy T-Mac and a healthy Grant already, I think Doc might would have been a little bit more loosened up on them rules, and you might have seen T-Mac, Grant Hill, and Tim Duncan together in Orlando.
I almost changed that. I almost said a healthy Bo Jackson or a healthy Penny Hardaway.
Give me Penny.
That was almost a question too, but I was like, let me keep it sport to sport.
Penny. If you get Penny, if you keep Penny healthy, you might keep Shaq in Orlando longer. And if Shaq in Orlando longer, do Jordan win 96, 97, 98?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
I can do this out, bro.
Yeah, speaking of winning,
would you rather Derrick Rose or Brandon Roy stay healthy?
Oh my God, that was another one, bro. This realistically, Derrick Rose, but here's why I'm gonna take Brandon Roy.
B. Roy was a killer, man.
I got to see what Derrick Rose was for at least as a shorter time. I got to see it. Brandon Roy, I felt like he was there, but it's like he got cut in his prime. So it was just like
I'm gonna take D Rose because like youngest MVP ever. If he would have never gotten hurt, not multiple, just ever, like Chicago would have a championship by now. I would stand on that, dog. Like,
I can agree with that.
Man, that dude was so special, bro. I met him too. That dude was so special. He's short.
Yeah. All right. Would you rather see Randy Moss or Charles Barkley win a championship?
This could be it. If you would have said, I don't really care about Charles. I'm gonna say Randy Moss. Like if you would have said you Bama, so you're gonna say Charles Barkley. But if you would have said like Randy Moss AI, like, that would have been tough. That would have been tough.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm saying Randy. I'm gonna tell you why.
With what team though? Because not with the Patriots.
Yeah. Well, I honestly wouldn't have cared if I had to saw Randy win one. If Randy wins one with Minnesota,
that's where I would want him to win one with.
Yeah,
that's him and Chris Carter with co-people.
I think so. Here's why I say Randy though. If Randy Moss wins a championship, I think it helps his. I think Randy Moss is arguably number two, best wide receiver if he wins a championship. I think it helps his case a lot more.
I mean, you can say the same thing for T.O.
I know that's why right now I think T.O.'s number two. T.O.'s my number two wide receiver, all-time wide receiver. T.O. he had drop issues, but I think there's no right on the
Jared T.O. Randy.
Yeah.
Okay.
What say what?
Where you putting Megatron?
Megatron. So Fitz will be my 4. Megatron to be 5. I'm trying to think who else I have up there. I think he might be on my 5.
Marvin Harris.
Marvin Harrison. I got Marvin Harrison on there, but he like
Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt.
Yeah.
What about Julio? He just retired.
Julio, he ain't in my top 10. He good. He up there. He ain't in my top 10.
Gonna hurt Julio is his touchdown numbers.
Like 6. I think what's gonna hurt Julio is he didn't have a decline. He just fell off.
I mean, that's a lot of them these days. Same with DeAndre Hopkins. But
yeah, that's true.
But if you look at, like, I looked at Julio versus Mike Evans numbers the other day, and like yardage wise, they kind of wasn't what, like Julio got a little more, but not by much type deal. But touchdowns, it's like
Mike Evans is killing.
Like it's like 100 and something to 66 or something. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like Julio did not score a touchdown against the Saints after they drafted Marshawn Lattimore.
That's crazy.
He ended his career with more fumbles than touchdowns versus the Saints.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Would you rather be coached by Phil Jackson or Greg Popovich?
Give me Greg Popovich. I think Greg Popovich is more of a Phil Jackson is good. Greg Popovich is more of a coach. I feel like got my back off the court as well. He got my back in life.
I feel like Phil the same way, but I feel like that's all Phil can do for you. A little bit. Like, Phil more of like a leader of men than he is a basketball coach, in my opinion.
That's fair.
Like Phil is a guy I would want to hire to like coach my team as a you know what I'm saying, like, or like run my organization type deal. Not front office wise, you know what I'm saying, but just like be leader over people type shit. But I think Greg Popovich is that same way, but he a basketball mind too. Like Tex Winters was the mind behind Phil's triangle offense success. Like Tex Winters literally wrote the book. I would rather be coached by Tex than Phil. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he got the basketball acumen.
Yeah. This is the last one.
All right.
Would you rather LSU men's basketball or LSU softball win a Natty first?
Damn. I'm gonna say this. It's a cop-out answer, but I don't care. I'm gonna say softball because they closer to doing it. So if I say basketball, that means it's like 6, 7, 8 years down the road before it happens. If I say softball,
I like how you think. Yeah,
softball, that could be this year.
I like that. That's a good answer. What they Family Feud? Good answer. I'm gonna say softball. Mine's kind of a cop out too. I don't necessarily need men's basketball to win a championship. I just need them to be better.
All right, I got one for you.
Hold on. But I also think Beth has put in enough or way more work, and I feel like she's there. And I want to see her get that job done. So, but go ahead.
Which one do you want to see first? LSU softball make it to Oklahoma City, or LSU men's basketball team make the tournament?
LSU softball, because they still got a chance to get it done this year.
That's fair.
And if they don't, that means I gotta wait till next year. Nah, let's give me softball. Man. Before we go, man, it's only fitting, bro. Game in about 15 minutes or so. Who you got?
318 till I die, man. Give me Houston. Yeah. Houston not in the 318, but you know.
I know what you mean. My money. Whether hey, you can say he's on scholarship. It don't matter. My money been going to Houston since May. So I'm invested. I love the city of Houston. Is when I get there, they show us love and stuff. I gotta tell you about that too. We'll talk about that show. But give me Houston, man. I already told you I want Ralph Simpson to win on one. I know. Nah, for real, man. It's good seeing Keem at the game and stuff. I want to see,
even though they didn't let my dog on the court.
Yeah. San Antonio's still mad at him.
Tripping, man.
But shout out I still say if she had not gotten hurt, I think Houston beats Duke last year.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because they was doing it until he got hurt, and it was a wrap after that. So, but yeah, man. Let's go ahead and get up out of here. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Y'all do us a favor, man. Go over to YouTube, like, share, subscribe. Go over to the YouTube, like, share, subscribe. We may be going to just YouTube shows in the near future. So go over to YouTube, like, share, subscribe. Get that theme music going, Ant. Get ready to get up out of here. Here we go. Come on now. I don't know. We'll see. We'll be back though. Make sure y'all set your notification bell. We'll be back like that.
You can find the Golden Boot Podcast on YouTube at Golden Boot. On Twitter at Golden Boot. On Instagram at Golden Boot. On Facebook at the Golden Boot Pod. On TikTok at Golden Boot. Or listen on all streaming platforms. Golden Boot!